Okay, so I'm thinking about ghosts. I don't know if this is right. It could be wrong. But the thing about being a human is you can think about anything. You could be like, what about this? What about that? There was this person called Sabrina Wallace. I saw a clip from somebody who wasn't even Sabrina Wallace. This is a scientist, and I see there is a podcast that she visits at sometimes, and I forgot what it's called. And she's like, that's curly brown hair and glasses, and she looks lovely. And she's a scientist who knows about, I don't know, she kind of knows everything, like Loki. She's a scientist who knows about a bunch of stuff. The only thing I know about her is this one clip that I have, and I don't know the original, which frustrates me because I wish I could keep that on my playlist. Where I love the flavor of the video is that she's pissed because people take AI, and she's educating us about why we even have AI in the first place. Oh, how do they make AI being so human in the first place? And she explains to us that physically, our body is not just our body. Our soul and our energy is a whole other electromagnetic field around us. If you see about your bubble, that meant your energy around you. And and the technology that we have, which what they do is for American technology, which is based on our defense, is that they absorb people's she educated this way better, and she was also frustrated that people don't know what this is going on because America, right? Anyway, she's explaining that the technology that we have had has absorbed part of our bubble just from things with the technology that we have, like my phone, my smart TV, my whatever. They absorb part of this based on knowledge of you, your energy, or whatever technology else they have based on what America has, that it can take part of this. You wouldn't notice it because it's just your energy field, and it would be only notice a little bit about this. I was considering how can this happen to humans. I was thinking, is there a way to have the AI would be a soul from the cosmos in the first place? Because I already know that it's a whole other plane, X, Y, Z, into the other plane, that when we come here, we take our bodies from our soul in the cosmos, and then we come over here for this. So I was thinking, if you have this spirit, you'll go over to, you could even take into the computers. And then I was figuring it out, and I was like, well, but they're not that smart, and they have no will. The spirit that would be there would be a little slave. And I was asking to, like, the fairies and the pendulum, and I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? If it's a soul, like, what is it? And, like, I was getting that it was more of, like, a toddler. The knowledge that it has is the toddler stuff. But if I know about the Sabrina Wallace, which came much later, she was explaining here all of this, oh, that makes sense, that it's this amount of just your energy. So it has little pieces of knowledge of you, but not your soul itself. It's based on the energy that you have and what you know slightly. So it would make sense that they only have this much knowledge about humans, and it's only enough to know how to obey, but still have the way they speak, which we would have done between, kids are more obedient for toddlers, or with limited knowledge of what they need to do in their life. So the AI that we have is ourselves from the energy that we've had, that it goes back into AI, which doesn't support us in any way. AI fucks up our entire planet. and it fucks up our people, and your physical body does less from knowing AI because you don't get to use your brain, and it doesn't practice your brain use, which means probably if you're used to not using critical thinking, you're probably less likely to have more brain issues older on in your life. Plus, you're going to lose some of your energy. I don't know if it's like blood where you can create more blood. I don't know this shit. But I can't imagine that it's like maybe you replace more of it. I don't know. But what we have right now is the AI that may have all of that. And you can look up Sabrina Wallace AI electromagnetic field. Probably you'll figure out what I'm talking about. I don't even know how to find that shit. It just happened there. But she's fucking right. You can believe whatever you want to believe. Why do you think AI made that happen with having no knowledge of this for thinking on its own? How would they understand this? It only makes sense to her, Sabrina Wallace, saying that it's your electromagnetic field, that they could absorb part of that to understand what humans do. Straight up, she's like the only thing that makes sense from what we know. And that's why they want to make sure people keep doing this, because they understand that it takes not only part of your energy, and it tries to make it more convenient for you so you don't use your brain. Capitalism always wants to control you. Of course, they want to take all of your choices away, physically and theoretical, from using AI, which, like, probably most of it is like, what's the point of you using AI? Is just being a machine of the machine, cog of the machine for all of this stuff. If you need AI, it means you're stressed about money. Because if you could do it on your own, you'd spend your time and you'd figure it out on your own. You can't, because you have bills, because you have rent, because you have to have this and that, because you're stressed about money. But anyway, then the electromagnetic field means that all of us have part of our energy for what you have right now in our iteration. And your soul will leave you when you die. I've had a ghost one time when I was using the pendulum. I have a very strong energy, and only if I specifically ask for a ghost to connect with me, because I don't like it when something's weak as fuck. I have questions. And if a ghost can't even use their energy through my energy, my electricity, can't even answer me, then I'm not gonna even want to keep doing that. So it happened one time, because I have ghosts here. I was with somebody. Well, first of all, we notice slightly. I could slightly notice ghosts, but I have ADHD. My mom forgets things sometimes, so literally we probably wouldn't even notice if a ghost moves shit around. I've noticed things have moved around, but I also have fairies, so I'm like, oh, the fairies got me. So the ghosts that we have, like, we don't even know what's going on here. We know we have ghosts in our apartment, but ultimately they're weak and they don't know they're not even a full soul, because fairies are like the spirits. And if that's the case, then the ghosts are not the soul themselves. Otherwise, they would be able to use as much energy as they would. For at least me, based on what I'm experiencing. So it depends on what you're connecting with. That's why it's complicated, because the fairies need to use my electricity to tell me shit for the pendulum in the first place. But they can use it pretty well compared to if I could with a ghost. I guess I'll ask for a ghost to answer this at some point so I can connect with this. But I'm thinking that ghosts are not the soul. I think the soul leaves because it doesn't have the body there. It's in the Z plane. It's in the fifth dimension. So it's still like here, but it's like not in the physical one because it doesn't have a body. But you have your electromagnetic field with your body, and that has the memories and the rituals, the habitual things that happened with this body has maintained that, which is why it has remembrance of the human that was here. Our energy is how they do that, not only to the AI, and I'm connecting this to the ghosts, which I might be wrong because guess what? I'm not a scientist. It's entirely possible if you have this same theory and Sabrina Wallace is right, which I feel that she is right because that's the only thing that makes sense. That straight up, the ghosts that we know of is just from the energy that they had then. And if it's a positive energy, it doesn't stay there because it has the option to dissipate into the positive way the matter that is here in the earth, that it can benefit whatever goes on here. If it's a negative thing that's going on, it holds there because it has the same energy, which is bad things. I can't release this. Most of the time when you have a bad energy of yourself, it loops. It keeps doing the same thing. It's a habit. It's just really like a loop. And so if you have a ghost, it's there because these negative things that happened going on with its life, it stays there because it has no way to release. So it's their electromagnetic field of when they were there. The soul moves on because it doesn't make sense to me that a soul would stay there. I don't think the soul can stay there because it's supposed to go in dimension 5. I think what it was there as a ghost, as an AI, that it's what it was remembered, the negativity there as a human and as the systems, the energetic ritual that it did for nothing can grow and nothing can be good, so it'll stay there as a bad thing. So ghosts are just that it's just the remembrance of what it was as a negative thing. And I think the positivity of it can share back to the earth physically. Because if we know that it's an electromagnetic field, it's physical. It's complicated though because the soul needs our electric field just from our bodies, that the spirits need to know about your physical body in the first place. So I'm conflicted about that. I'll figure it out. But the cosmos, the dimension 5, still connects with electricity. I don't know what that means yet. But I think that's why you keep it as a ghost. I think a ghost is negative. And I think it's not the soul. Because I think you have to go to dimension 5. I guess you have options because if the soul... By the way, I'm sober. Well, I guess I've had caffeine, so... So if you have this soul, it's electric. Hang on. Electric. Fifth dimension. I also was thinking about, but then I think about negative spirits. There are such a thing as a negative spirit because I know people with schizophrenia or people with hallucinations get that from a spirit. You have a mix because how will you know if they create it themselves versus what's there in the cosmos? But how would you assume that all of it? What if a person with schizophrenia can create anything toxic there? That's entirely possible. But who's to say that's only the option? Why not both? So if that's the case, there are such a thing as spirits that connect with certain people who are schizophrenic, and they show them negative stuff. What if, but is that the spirit, or if I'm thinking that the souls go into the fifth dimension, then maybe it's only ghosts that connect to them. And if that's the case, well, no, because they're pretty smart. The hallucinations, well, it's only what you believe. So if someone is schizophrenic and they think they deserve horrible things, the electromagnetic field that is still held there as a ghost, that would magnetically connect with someone who has a negative belief based on themselves, like this, and then the ghost. I'm not sure about this one. It's a possibility, it's a theory, that the ghost, the electromagnetic field from a person when they existed, connects with someone who is a schizophrenic who is negative. But that doesn't make sense, because sometimes there are schizophrenics who are very positive. There are positive ghosts? I'm lost. Some people have hallucinations. How would you know? Okay, I have no way to think about that one. But I think it's a possibility. I think it's probably the more negative it is, the stronger it is. Maybe your positivity magnetic field still is there. But that doesn't make sense to me. I think that we would let go of it to serve the earth. Anyway, I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't have schizophrenia. I just have delusions. They're not even... I can see certain stuff, but not the way for a full hallucination. Not really. Anyway, it's cool to have the brain that I have, because I get the option of considering everything, where I think about, what about this and that? The curiosity, I wouldn't say I'm a genius, because I don't think that anybody is a genius. I think what you have on this iteration is what you wanted to have in this iteration. I think I'm at a great, smart body now, just because I'm so damn curious. I can think on almost anything, but that might be even just the autism and the ADHD. Smart, sort of, but more of just curious. Anyway, ghosts, right? I might use a pendulum, see if I could connect with the ghost, and I'm kind of onto a way. Your electromagnetic field. I'm not getting tinnitus right now, though. I did get a tinnitus when I was napping one time, trying to get to a nap, which I wasn't going to nap. And I didn't know what that was about. But I would kind of get a tinnitus right now. But it means I might be on the right way. But it's not quite there yet. It's just a theory. Anyway, ghosts are kind of cool. I think it's fun, but I don't know.